Oh, hold on. I almost forgot the intro. Hold on.
We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five.
Couldn't forget that. We couldn't
Can't
forget
forget
that
that.
now. Come on now. But what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and I am here with my brother from another big game, James. Man, another episode of Best of Enemies. We a little bit late, but we here. You know, better late than never. That's what I say. But
Right.
what's going on, James? What's going on, brother?
Just chilling, dog. Just had a crazy long day yesterday. One thing I want to say is, how they say any given Sunday, right, with NFL football. Well, it was any given Friday last night. This team that I actually called games for were 5-4. They lost like four out of conference games to really tough teams, right? But
Mm,
inside the conference, they had been dominating. So they played this team that my son actually went to high school with. And both my sons actually graduated for. So they were 0-9, bro. So you know what you're thinking. 0-9, this gonna be a running clock, this gonna be a slaughterhouse, this gonna be a smashing. These boys came in here and put it to these dudes.
mm,
Put it to them. Quarterback threw 5 touchdowns.
damn.
Um, and he was like, I went up to him and talked to him because I want to get his Twitter handle so I could get an interview. But he was like 6'3", 6'4". Oh, Joe, he was throwing lasers. They had this little dude was killing them. They came in there thinking, oh, we're gonna smack these boys. They 0-9. That just goes to tell you, you better bring it every single time you play. Because if you don't, you going to get beat. They end up losing 35-34. It could have knocked them off to the playoffs with that bad loss because they go by points and, the records. And that
Yeah.
was almost the last game of the year. So that could potentially knock them out the playoffs just by that loss. So any given
Man.
Sunday, any given Friday, you better bring it every single time or something like that will happen to you.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it in the NFL too. You know, the Cowboys lost to the Cardinals. So you got to come prepared every game. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. And we saw it last night. We were just talking about that right before
Yes.
we got on here with Colorado. Colorado. Oh my God, they are going to be the talk
Oh,
of
my
the town
God.
for a while after that game. That was a crazy game. It's unfortunate. You know, I like Deion Sanders. I know a lot of people might not. You know, they don't like him talking so much. I like it. I think that is cool. I think that it's
Me
what
too.
football is all about, to be honest. I think that all that, bravado and ish talking is what, that's what makes the game fun to me. But, it is what it is. People are going to be mad. But, yeah, we're going to get into all this, man. We got a lot to talk about. Obviously, the Eagles have a game Sunday. Cowboys have a game Sunday. So both are probably big games for different reasons.
Ours is Monday.
Monday. Okay. Who you guys play?
Chargers.
Chargers. Yeah. Oh,
The
yeah.
Kellen Moore Bowl.
Yeah, that's going to be yeah. So both games probably big for different reasons, but it's going to be big either way. So I'm excited for it. I want to start though because there's now that we're coming down to week 6. We got a couple more weeks till the actual trade deadline. I know both teams have been talking about possibly going out there and getting somebody, whether it be a trade or whether it be a free agent. We just saw Frank Clark get cut by the Broncos yesterday, so he's a guy that I think some people are looking at. I wanted to start there. I want to start. Is there any, and I'll, obviously give my opinion on it too, as far as the Eagles go, but are there any trade targets that you're looking at right now for your Dallas Cowboys that you would want them to look at?
I mean, honestly, maybe a possible receiver. I think McCall Hardman. I think he's getting released, or they're talking about dangling him. Um, Obviously, linebacker. We just picked up Rashawn. I can't remember his last name. Rashawn Evans. And I had mentioned him in July of this year that we needed a potential linebacker because LVE it was slim pickings. So he was a guy I had already targeted in July that I said the Cowboys should look at, and they actually just signed him. He was on the street though, so he wasn't actually a trade partner. So that we saw what happened to LVE. He's going to be on short-term IR, and that might be a career ender.
Mm,
If you saw that what Trent Williams did, and I don't know if it was malicious or not, but he kind of blocked him in the back, and my LVE ran into Micah, and his neck went in, and it looked bad. And he's already had neck issues his whole career in college. I don't know, man. That could be a retirement because I don't know if you're a linebacker and you have an injury like that to your neck. How do you be aggressive? How do you be physical? I would be worrying about that and thinking about that all the time. So I can't blame him. But if you're talking about targets, obviously they're talking about the fire sale in Denver. You just saw Clark get released. They're talking about Patrick Surtain. You know, they said he's off limits, but Jerry Judy. There's all kind of guys that are going up. Honestly, right now, maybe the defensive line. I don't know. Maybe another linebacker. But y'all just picked up Brandon Smith, and we were looking at him, and I think y'all did that on purpose. Y'all just feel like y'all just picked him up so we couldn't get him. So, I don't know if there's really a trade that the Cowboys are really going to make, in my opinion. It'd have to be a lower level because I don't think they're going to go with a high draft pick, if anything, on a player. So I think if anything, they're going to just pick up people off free agents, and if they get released, probably go after them like that. But I don't think they're going to do any trades, just not in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Frank Clark would make a lot of sense for y'all, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
Add some depth to that defensive line. And he's not too old. I mean, I think he's what, like 29, 28, 30, something like that?
I think he's 30. Actually, I thought he was 33. I thought he was a little bit older. So it made me feel even better that he was only 30 years old. And we see what Frank Clark did. And I believe he's got, a little, maybe a history with Dan Quinn, because I can't remember when he came out, but he was with them Seahawks, and he was pretty nice with them Seahawks. And he's a great pass rusher. And right now, a lot of people talking about, and Dan Quinn is talking about maybe possibly putting Micah Parsons back at the off-ball linebacker so he can roam, and then you can kind of put, like I said, the Rashaan Evans at the middle, and let him be your middle linebacker, and have Micah be able to move around and not strictly put him on that end. And adding a Frank Clark, who right now Dorrance Armstrong Jr. is stinking up the field. Sam Williams has got 1 sack. I don't know how many pressures, but he hasn't been the guy right now either. DeMarcus Lawrence, we know what he brings to the table, but he's not the greatest pass rusher, in my opinion. He's not getting you buku sacks. He'll get you pressures, but he ain't getting the sacks. So that will be a definite welcome, because I said go get Randy Gregory. You feel me? When they were talking about releasing Randy Gregory, I said go get him. People like, man, don't go get him. He did this, he did that. Man, I ain't forgetting all that, dog. I'm trying to win games, and if you got a guy that can win games and help your team, I'm all for it. So if you couldn't get a Randy Gregory, I'm all in on Frank Clark as well.
Yeah, I respect that. And you got a super chat. I don't know if you can see the screen.
Yeah, I can see it. And shout out to all my peoples. I'm on my phone because my computer was updating. So if I don't recognize you, if I don't see you, if I don't say anything, it's not me. I just can't answer on my phone. So I definitely appreciate you. But shout out to my dog Rev Rebel for the hey ho, the $20 holla for my B-Day tomorrow. Be the big 5-1 in this beer.
I'm glad that the Cowboys don't play tomorrow, because that would be so messed up if they ruined your birthday. I would hate for that to happen.
Shoot, if they play Monday, it's still the same damn thing.
At least you get to see the Eagles go 6-0. You know what I'm saying? I do see everybody talking about Brandon Smith in the comments. A lot of Cowboys fans seem to have liked him, which is cool. I'm a Penn State fan, so I was a big fan of Brandon Smith coming out.
Y'all did that on purpose.
We probably did. I mean, we do need depth. I'm not gonna lie, like we definitely need some depth there, but we didn't necessarily really need it at the same time. So it's interesting. I think he has a lot of upside, in my opinion. I think that he's an athletic freak, in my opinion. He could play. He played some slot snaps in Penn State. He's obviously played more of a true linebacker. He can pass rush. There are obvious things that he needs to work on, a lot of technique stuff that he needs to work on, and just being better, as at the point of attack. I don't feel like he's really that physical, but I would love for the Philadelphia Eagles to really develop him into something, and we'll see. Somebody said that he's going to replace Nakobe Dean. That's not going to happen. But it is what it is. You got another super fat for your birthday.
Shout out to my dog Jalen for the $9.90 high and holla for the happy birthday. Appreciate all the birthday love right now. Thank you more. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all for showing me love like that. It means a lot to me. More to me if these Cowboys get off their ass and do what they supposed to do and win games.
Just take the money, man. But no, so talking about, to go back to the topic, trade targets for the Philadelphia Eagles. We're always, I think, it's kind of a joke.
Always looking.
People. We're always looking. We're always making calls. We're always trying to see who's out there. I keep on pressing things by accident. But yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles are definitely interested in some people. I know that they're interested in Jeremy Chin. There's been a lot of talk about them being interested in Justin Simmons. So it looks like safety is a position that we want to upgrade at. I would not be shocked at all. Like, it would not surprise me at all if the Philadelphia Eagles went out and got Frank Clark. That would not surprise me.
That wouldn't surprise me either.
You
I
know,
definitely can see y'all snatching them, and because I mean, not to cut you off,
no, you good.
I mean that's the thing. Like just like I said, y'all went and got Brandon Smith. Did y'all really need him? But it's just feel like y'all always are, just piss. Yeah, I will give the Cowboys props. They went out and got players this offseason more than they ever have. So I won't diss them in that aspect. But also, it does seem like to me that Eagles are always trying to keep on, no matter what. If that whole squad is stacked, they'll still try to add somebody. You feel me?
Yeah.
They'll still try to add somebody for that year because they're trying to go all in every damn year. And I just want my Cowboys to be able to do that too. So if you see a Frank Clark and you see these other teams that may want to get him, go snatch him up just cause. Just snatch him up. Y'all got some money, snatch him up. You need help. You can never have too many defensive daggone ends. And like I said, Dorrance Armstrong and those guys aren't playing the greatest right now. That would be a great addition. Don't let the Eagles get him, please.
And you're only as strong as your weakest link. Like if right now is a good time, and we'll get into the injuries in a second, but right now is a good example. You look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they're injured along that line. Having somebody like a Frank Clark that can come in, we saw it last year with Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph. We probably didn't need both of them, but we needed some help in the run game. And we went out and did that. So if you can go get a Frank Clark and it's not that expensive, obviously it's not going to cost you any draft assets. I'm all about it. I'm all about the Eagles adding people. And Special K wanted to know if Dean is living up to the hype yet.
No,
he hasn't played much. He's only played one game, but I will say this much. I do like Nakobe Dean. I know a lot of people are out here ready to see other people play. I like Nakobe Dean, and it's a conversation in Philadelphia right now because obviously he did come back this week. He should be eligible to play this week. But Nicholas Morrow and Zach Cunningham have been playing very well. So it's like, do you want to stop what's been working and put in, the guy that you drafted, or do you just keep going with what you have and try to figure out when to put Nakobe Dean in? But I think that he's really good. We'll see what happens. Obviously, he got hurt in his first game starting, so it's an incomplete grade right now, but I think he'll be fine. I'm not one of those, Eagles fans that are like, oh, he's trash, he can't stay healthy. It's one injury. I'm not too worried about it. But also, I mean,
but it was kind of crazy. You just said, should you put in Nakobe Dean when you already have Zach Cunningham and Nicholas Morrow already playing well? Should you put him in the lineup? I think that's what the Cowboys did, in our opinion. I feel like it messed us up because we had our young players. Obviously, I think he's hurt this week. Wanye Thomas was playing crazy. Marquise Bell, they were playing like animals. Like they were playing crazy in the preseason. They brought it in the first few games in the regular season. And so we were like, yeah, we love that aggressiveness. And then when Donovan Wilson came back, we know Dono. Okay, Dono got the big money. He's a dog. But also, Dono just signed. Malik Hooker just signed, and then you had Jaron Kearse who had an extension, right? So those are the three money guys. So in my opinion, money guys don't sit in Dallas. Money guys play. It don't matter. You want money guy, you're gonna be in that lineup. And I feel like they forced those guys kind of in the lineup, and I feel like it threw off the chi. And now it's different with the defense right now, and we're missing that kind of element because I feel like they pushed them in the lineup because of their play, or they forcing Luke Schoonmaker in the lineup, our second round tight end, because he's a second rounder. So I wonder if you guys are going to do the same thing with Nakobe Dean, because Jake Ferguson is better than freaking Luke Schoonmaker, but we keep on seeing Luke Schoonmaker out there in first snaps. Like, what the hell is going on? So I wonder if you guys do the same thing, or y'all just ride the wave of the hotness and then y'all just figure out, hey, we'll just get him in here somehow, some way. We'll just ease him in.
Yeah, it's always good. I will say it's always nice to see a Michigan product do poorly in the NFL. Go Penn State. But at the end of the day, the Eagles have a bad habit, and that's something that we've been talking about all week as Eagles fans, is that they have a bad habit of playing favoritism, right? Like you said, if they have the contract, if they were a homegrown guy, then they definitely will be like, hey, you're going in. We're going to see what happens. Me personally, it's a terrible decision. Like, it's a horrible place to be in as the coach, because you're going to be wrong either way. As soon as something goes wrong, because, always something goes wrong. There's going to be one bad play. Everybody's going to be like, oh, why the heck didn't you just put Nakobe in? Or if you put Nakobe in, why the heck did you take these guys out? So you're in a, damned if you do, damned if you don't type position. But I'm at the spot that if I was the Eagles, and again, I'm not saying they have to do this. I think that there's 3 different options here, and I think all of them you can make an argument for. But I feel if you're the Eagles, I would see. It's weird because they're both green dot. Nicholas Morrow and Nakobe Dean are both green dot. Like once Nakobe went down, Nicholas took over the green dot. So it's like you can't really like put them in waves. Like you can't really rotate them, right? Like it would be kind of weird to rotate like your quarterback of the defense, basically.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you
so
green dot or you not.
Exactly. So to me, it's like you rotate him and Cunningham, and once somebody makes you say, "Oh, I can't take him off the field," then you know that's your starter. Personally, I think that Nakobe Dean is better than Zach Cunningham. I think that would be shown. So we'll see what happens. I mean, Dean has already and then some people say stuff like this. Dean has already shown that he can't perform at the level of Morrow and Cunningham, and that's an Eagles fan. I don't know where that comes from. I really don't, because
they're probably saying because he's been hurt. You feel me?
Yeah, but see, this is my thing, and this has been like a conversation on Twitter. There's been a conversation in the show. Like, we make wild statements off of like small sample sizes. Like, I love what Zach Cunningham and Nicholas Morrow are doing, but let's remember that they were both on the street. They were both, Nicholas Morrow did not make this team. Like, he got cut. He went to the practice squad, and what he's doing is incredible. Don't get me wrong. But if we're realistically talking about pure talent and what the future of this team is, it's definitely not gonna be Zach Cunningham. Maybe Nicholas Morrow has kind of played his way into being the future of this team, but Nakobe Dean is not a slouch. Nakobe Dean is not trash. Let's rewatch the first game. He played very well. He just got hurt. So, I don't know. I think a lot of people are it's recency bias, right? Like, I think it happens a lot. You see what's happening right now. Nicholas Morrow's coming off a 3-sack game. Like, it's beautiful.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Bias. So, I don't know. Me personally, I'm glad I don't have to make that decision, but I'm not too worried about it. I think this is a great spot to be in. This is a great spot to be in. You got 3 guys that you're realistically, kind of working between. And then she said, watch the tape. He's too small. Can't get off blocks. Not good in coverage. None of that's true. None of that's true. Literally, he came into the league as one of the best linebackers in coverage. And he doesn't have to get off blocks. He is small, but he doesn't have to get off blocks because of this defensive line. Reason why we got these defensive linemen that can help him just kind of see through the muck. I mean, but that's my thing. It's like recency bias, bro. Because if you're sitting here saying that Zach Cunningham,
because if Zach Cunningham and Nicholas Morrow, if Nicholas Morrow didn't have that 3-sack game and was just okay, Nakobe would right back. They're just talking about what Nicholas Morrow just has done. He just had that big game. So your first thought is, don't take him out. He just had 3 sacks the last game. Don't take him out. He's hot right now. Don't take him out. But is he the future? I know Zach Cunningham, he ain't the future. We know he's not the future because he was on the street. Like you just said, he's not the future. He's a stopgap guy. So that's a guy, in my opinion, that's where you could, maneuver to where you want to go, because he's a 3rd-round draft pick, right? Nakobe Dean. Yeah. Zach Cunningham is off the street. What do you think you're going to do with that? Especially when you know Zach Cunningham's not going to be in your future. You got to see what you have in Nakobe Dean.
Yeah, I mean, she said watch the last year in preseason. Watch the first game. And last year, what tape are you watching? That's the thing. I don't know. People use Twitter as their source a bit too much for me. But at the end of the day, I think that Nakobe Dean is a great player. I think that Nicholas Morrow's been playing great. Rotate him as Zach Cunningham. That's where I'm at. But either way, speaking of injuries, we got a guy coming back. But the Eagles got a whole bunch of injuries.
All the way, dog. We got a gang of injuries. We got a gang of them.
It's terrible. So I don't know if I have. Where's the injury report thing? Hold on. That's not the. I guess I don't got the injury report thing. Either way, we'll talk about the injuries. So, Eagles have about like 9 different people injured. Off the top of my head, I know we got Darius Slay out. We got Jalen Carter out. We have who else was out? Justin Evans, our starting safety, is out. So it's going to be a tough game. And then, a couple of other guys are questionable. I will say for the Jets, they have a lot of injuries as well. They don't have 3 of their cornerbacks. Sauce Gardner is questionable. I think he's sick. So it's going to be a tough game. I don't think it'll be an absolute blowout like it could have been if we were at full health. But Nakobe Dean coming back, maybe he gets more snaps or some snaps in this game. Maybe he starts. Who knows? But I think that it's going to be a tough game for us. But I mean, it's the Jets, right? So like, half of me feels like they were like, let's just be cautious with these guys coming into this game, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? If Dean
Don't do
starts,
like we did, try to be too cautious and get beat like we did with them damn Cardinals, trying to be too damn cautious.
that's the
We
only thing
want
that worries me. That's the
we
only
we,
thing
we
that
we
worries
wanted to
me.
rest people because we thought this is the Cardinals. We can rest these guys. Let's go ahead and rest these guys and get them, get because that's why I said get Tyron Smith prepped for the Niners, and I felt like y'all rested them. I understand what your thinking is, but you just said any given Sunday, didn't we, Joe? You can't play around with this, dog. Every game is a big game. Every game is a big game. And we always notoriously have problems with the Cardinals. You feel me? So we had to go in there at their house and whoop their tails because we have problems with the Cardinals. That's a fact. We always have problems with the Cardinals. And we went in there thinking, oh, we'll be okay. And bow, smacked in the mouth.
Yeah, Marina says Evans and Slay are the biggest losses. That's realistically, luckily, we're
Dude,
going
Jalen
against.
Carter is your biggest loss
I
on
don't
that
think so.
front.
I don't think
You
so.
don't think
I mean,
so?
no,
Tell me
I
why.
love
Tell me
Jalen
why.
Carter. I love Jalen Carter, but we got a lot of dogs on that defensive line. We got a lot of people. Milton Williams has been playing outside of his mind, I believe. Obviously got Fletcher Cox. You got Brandon Graham on the edge. You got Hassan Reddick. You got Josh Sweat. You have a lot of guys that should be able to make up for the loss of Jalen Carter. It does suck. Don't get me wrong. But just kind of like I was saying with Fletcher Cox when he was out, it sucks. You never want to see it, but you have enough guys that can kind of fill in for him and make it happen. I don't want to see Jalen Carter out, and if Jalen Carter was playing, he probably would have tore this defense apart. Running game wise, it might hurt us. Like in the run defense, it might hurt us. But outside of that, I don't think that is going to be a huge loss. I think that other guys will just now get their shine. And you got a super chat, but big super chat.
Hey, I'm getting the super chats left and right now, dog. I really appreciate that. Shout out to my dog Tavis, my cousin. He always brings the flame for the 9.99. Holla, Big and Joe. We need to fire our coordinating, our conditioning coaches. We need to do something around here because I don't know, man. These rats and injuries was a little too much for me, and it's been kind of crazy in my opinion. So, guys are getting better. You mentioned your guys on the front. My guys right now, we got Wanye Thomas, who I've been mentioned. He's got a hamstring injury. He has not practiced, and I think he probably won't play because them hammies ain't nothing to play with. LVE, he's on IR. We just made the signature. Jonathan Hankins, he's got a little bit of the flu bug, I think. CJ Goodwin, who's our special team ace, I think he's out for the year with a torn pec. Cavante Turpin, they said he had an ankle sprain, but he's been full practice, so I think he's trying to get back on that field, and that's good. Obviously, Tyron Smith resting the knee. He always hurt, so that ain't nothing new. Marquise Bell, Tyler Biadish, guys have just been kind of going through it all year, and I said one of the things that will sidetrack this season would be injuries. We done already had quite a bit of them already.
Yeah, I mean the Eagles have been lucky. I could sit here and blame, conditioning coaches or, coaches or whatever. But we've been lucky last year. We got so lucky last year with injuries. I knew it wasn't going to be as, lucky. I'll say that. Like, I don't want to say that, but we got really lucky last year. Like, damn near nobody got hurt. So we were going to figure we were going to deal with this, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay that we're dealing with it now. These aren't like lingering long-term injuries, even though who was it that just got put on IR? Justin Evans, our safety, just got put on IR, which I think might have to do with something, if I'm being 100% honest. I think there's something connected to that because I think that Quez is going on IR next, and then we'll see. I think the Eagles are going to make a big trade. I do think that that's coming pretty soon, but we'll see what happens with that. But we got lucky last year when it came to actual injuries because just to go through all that's tough, man. Go through the whole season and not have a major injury. We were blessed. So this year we're dealing with it a little bit. Shout out to my guy Joey Shakes. He said he has a question for you. He said that is the play calling from Mike McCarthy and play design a huge problem? Brandon Cooks, I figured would be used a lot more. Let me restart. I figured it would be used to attack a lot more. Is losing Zeke the big loss in the red zone?
Well, let me answer that first question. Is play calling for Mike McCarthy and play design a huge problem? Right now, it is. He came out there and said, because people are saying, it looks stale and predictable. And he said, I beg to differ. I don't see that it's happening like that. I don't know how it's not predictable, and I don't know how it's not stale because I watched that Niners games, the all 22, 3 times already, Joe. And Fred Warner knew what the hell we was doing. Okay. Whenever we did our routes, he knew he was breaking in on the routes. I mean, these guys knew what we were doing. It was basic. And if they knew what we're doing, that means it's bland and it's predictable. And it's not like you didn't have that in Green Bay. That's one of the reasons why they got rid of you, because it was bland, it was stale, and it was predictable. And Aaron Rodgers was not liking it anymore, and y'all was beefing, and he said, you got to go. So they got rid of you. You come over here, you said you sat out for a whole year, you did analytics, you did all this, analytic that. And I ain't trying to jump off the shit with you, McCarthy. I'm just saying, bro, you did analytical till your face fell off. And then when you get in these games, it ain't no analytical nothing. It's stale, long. And he said in his press conference, Joe, we want to, we want to have winning time of possession. We want to keep our defense fresh. We want to be able to do this and do that. Well, this is what I'm saying, Joe. You're doing 9, 10 play drives, seem like every damn time, and you ain't getting in that end zone. So if you're taking 6, 7 minutes off the clock with these long ass drives, it's not a quick strike offense. So if you're taking that much time off the clock, right? If you don't score a touchdown, or if you don't score and that team comes down and scores on you, damn, now you in a predicament because you done wasted the whole damn quarter taking it downfield not to score nothing. Then the team comes right down and scores on you. Now the pressure's on. Now you got to score. Now the forcing of plays, and that's where I feel like Dak Prescott gets in trouble, because now we're behind the 8 ball. We're behind in points, and so now we got to throw, and start. And teams know that. Now we know you got to throw. So now we're going to sit on these routes and watch for you to make a mistake, and that's what's happening, and I don't like that. And also, if you're talking about Ezekiel Elliott in the red zone, I don't think so. I just feel like you got to be more creative in the red zone. If you're inside the 10, don't hand it to Tony Pollard straight up the middle, up the gut. No, don't do that. Use a Hunter Lukey. Use other guys to Rico Dowdle. He's a physical back. He needs to get more carries. He's only averaging like 4 carries a game. You got rid of Zeke, so you're not even using him. You feel me? So it's a combination of those things. But yes, Mike McCarthy, you got to get better, because you got to be able to attack defenses quicker than we are, because these long drives, to me, are killing us if we're not putting points on the board.
Yeah, and shout out to Jalen Bard. He said, "What exactly did he learn in that basement?" That's kind of funny. But
Right.
look, I think it's funny also that the first down that you guys had against the 49ers was on the brotherly shove. So I just want to say you're welcome. We gave you guys something that get your offense going a little bit. But you got another super chat, bro.
All right, so we got what? Not much here, but here is enough to maybe buy a Coke, nowadays. Appreciate you, dog. DC for life. Let's freaking go. Cowboys 6. Good BGJ and Joe. Appreciate you. DC for life. Text. Appreciate that. Hey, $5 go a long way in these worlds. In my world, I can make a $5 work. So appreciate you for that $5. I can make $5 work.
That's love. Yeah, man. So all right. So now we get into the next games. Obviously, like I said, these games are important to each of us, probably for different reasons. I think the Philadelphia Eagles obviously want to go 6-0. We've never lost to the Jets. But I also think that it's a pretty good test of this run game. I think that we've went through, the first 5 weeks we're number 1 in run defense, and this is going to be a good test to see if we were just kind of playing bad running teams, because we are not playing a bad running team this week. Bryce Hall, however you say his name, that boy's going to work. He's going to eat. So this is a good time for us.
Dalvin Cook's still over there too.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook, man.
Hey, but don't slip on him though. See, you could say that, and then he could go crazy because he's not washed up. It's just I don't know if the Jets are using him accordingly or using him the right way. So that's why it may look like, what is Dalvin Cook doing? I need to know if the Jets are really working him in that rotation the way they really want. But I don't think a Dalvin Cook has fell off. So don't slip on him, Joe.
We'll see what he does. You're right. Maybe they're just not utilizing him properly, because I haven't really seen him do much. But hopefully we go out there and we dominate anyways. if I'm the Eagles, and another reason why I feel like this could be a big game, and we'll go through the keys to victory, right now, I guess. But the reason why I think that the Eagles, this is a good game for them to kind of test, not just because of that run defense, but also that secondary. Obviously, not having Darius Slay, Justin Evans, two guys that
Hmm.
are big parts of this defense and
Hmm.
that secondary. I mean, Justin Evans, I think, is a not talked about enough player. Not saying that he's amazing and he's the glue to that defense, but when he hasn't been in, we've seen a difference, and it's mainly communication errors. He knows what that defense does, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens, who they put out there. Hopefully, it's Sidney Brown, or I'm hoping Sidney Brown. That's really the only
Hmm.
person I gotta want to see out there right now.
Hmm.
And then with Darius Slay, are we gonna put Josh Jobe back out there? Are we gonna
Ooh.
let Eli Ricks get some touches? It'll be interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing Eli Ricks out there. I wouldn't mind seeing Josh Jobe out there. I think this is a game that you can build some confidence. I don't think that Zach Wilson's gonna tear your defense apart, or at
Hmm.
least, I mean, he could. You never know. Any given Sunday, right? But
Right. Right.
I don't think this is a game that you have to worry about the quarterback being, all pro, all world. So this could be a good game to get your defensive backs a little bit of confidence, and those younger guys a little bit of confidence. But as far as keys to victory, I think this game comes down to our defensive line just making life miserable for Zach Wilson. And that's usually what we do against him, anyways. So, go out there, get the sacks, make him hold the ball a little bit longer than he wants to. And then offensively, just run it down their throat. I'm going to say that every single week. Run it down their throats until they stop you, until they make it so that you cannot run. Keep on running and take advantage of those cornerbacks. I mean, you got AJ Brown out there, obviously, got Devontae Smith out there. They are down a bunch of cornerbacks. And if Sauce Gardner doesn't play, they have no secondary. So, hey, take advantage of that, but start with the run, end with the run, and maybe throw some passes in there. That's where I'm at right now. I don't care
Hmm.
how beautiful it looks. Go out there and win that game and dominate them the whole time.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, when I look at that game, the biggest key to me is going to be Zach Wilson. Let's keep it real. He's got to play. He's got to play good football. He's got to play smart football, and he cannot turn that ball over. If he starts turning that ball over, it's game. Game is going to be over, and it's going to get away from him. From that Jets defense, they really going to have to lock it down. That's going to be a tough, especially with their cornerbacks being out. I think. I get what you're saying with run, but I would attack their guys on the outside. We went crazy on them. We moved the ball up and down the field on them, on their cornerbacks, and Dak had a really good game as far as passing the ball. Actually, him and CD had their best game of the year against the Jets. I think CD had like 10 catches for over 100 yards in that game. So that can definitely be a highlight. So, I know you guys want to run, but you can definitely exploit that secondary, and you got the guys to do it. So we'll see how that goes. But for the Jets, to me, they got to just really slow this game down. For real, in my opinion, they need to
Mhm.
slow this game down. Make this a long game. Don't try to get in a shootout. Really work your defense. If we're talking about long drives, they need to be able to do that to keep their defense fresh. Because if they're having continued three and outs, it's going to be a bad game for them.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, I mean, the Jets, yeah, they have to slow down the game. They have to try and make Jalen Hurts, nitpick down the field as well and dink and dunk, because he has made mistakes this year. So if make him press a little bit, make him feel like, I just want to score. I want to get the ball in the end zone. He might make a mistake. I'm not saying that it's a consistent thing from him, but he's made mistakes this year, and that's definitely something you want as a defense, is to try and get the quarterback going getting a little frazzled and doing things that maybe he doesn't usually do. So, we'll see what happens, but I don't think that they have much of a chance. But also, I didn't think the Cardinals had much of a chance, so I'm not going to say too much. I'm not going to talk too much because you never know what's going to happen, and especially the
Right.
way the Eagles been playing. We've been letting teams stay in it a little bit too long. But I think the game between y'all two is going to be a very, very fun game to watch, because if y'all lose that game, I know a lot of Cowboys fans are a little bit upset about what's going on now. It's not, obviously all, rainbows and roses, but if y'all lose to Kellen Moore, especially with your offense struggling.
Yeah, it's going to be bad business. It's going to be real bad business because everybody's already talking. Well, maybe it wasn't Kellen Moore. Maybe we shouldn't have let Kellen Moore go. I'm not jumping on that train, but I never was hating on Kellen Moore. If you people who watch me, No, I wasn't the Kellen Moore basher. Actually, last year I was saying, hey, we had one of the top rushing and passing teams in the league last year. It's just my problem with Kellen Moore was he did goofy, dumb things at the inopportune times. Like you're eating up this defense, you're rolling, then you do a triple reverse on the 3rd and 2. You feel what I'm saying? Like you do goofy things out of nowhere, and it's like if you're up, now you play smart situational football. And I think that was the issue with him. It's like, okay, you got to lead. You don't got to keep throwing it down the field all day. Now you don't want to get conservative, but you don't want to just keep on doing that, getting 3 outs and let this team back in the game. So I think that's the issue I had with Kellen Moore. I never really had a problem with his offenses because his offenses was averaging 30 points a game. Now in the situation he's over there with Herbert, they're scoring a lot of points, but that defense is very suspect. And that's what you're going to have to attack. But I have a suspicion that Kellen Moore, as much as they throw the ball, I think they throw 66% of the time and run 30%. I have a feeling he's going to really try to run the ball because he hears that noise that we never ran the ball under Kellen Moore. So I really think he's going to be an asshole and really try to run the ball down our throats with Austin Eckler and really try to make a statement saying, I'm going to just run on y'all. And then when I want to pass, I'm going to try to pass. So it's going to be a crazy game. Please, Cowboys, bring it. Don't lose to these boys because it's going to be hell on Twitter. All we're going to hear is, yeah, see, Kellen Moore beat you. You should have never let him go. See.
I'll
And
bring
Mike
that up.
and Mike McCarthy, for his own sanity, he better win this damn game, and you better call a good offensively called game. Because if you don't call a good offensive game and we don't score a lot of points and they do, oh my God, dog, I don't know. There might be talk of firing. I don't know. There might be that talk. I don't know.
I think y'all close. And I'm not saying like, you're going to keep losing, so it's definitely going to happen. But if you keep on losing, if y'all lose this game, I do think y'all going to be talking about, at the very least, hot seat for Mike McCarthy. Like
It's going to be a hot seat.
Burning.
It's going to be on flame. If he loses this game, because that's a 2-game losing streak, and that's 3 out of the last 4. So yeah, that definitely is going to be talk. It's definitely going to be talk because they're going to be like, okay, is this system really working? You got rid of him. Now you wanted your own system. You wanted your own players. You wanted your own thing. You wanted to do it your way, and your way is getting demolished. Because here's the thing, even with Kellen Moore and people were frustrated and complaining, there was 12-5. There was 12-5. You feel me? If you get rid of Kellen Moore and you took over, and the team is playing worse, statistically it is right now, especially on offense, it continues to play worse, that conversation is going to come up like, okay, he wasn't the problem. It has to be you because they got rid of everything for you. They added things for you, and you're playing worse.
Yeah.
That's bad business right there, dog.
That definitely is. Yeah. And shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got 100 people in the chat. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe wherever you are. I am only 9 away from 6,000. So
get them.
You guys want to come on over, hit that subscribe. I'd really appreciate that.
Yeah. And if y'all want to hit that subscribe with me, you ain't got to tell me, even if you're Eagles fans, you ain't got to tell me this sub because you say you like big game. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm at the cusp of getting that 15K, and that'd be dope to get.
Yeah, let's get my dog to 15K for his birthday. So we both got milestones, you know what I'm saying? Let's get those milestones going. I do want to say, because I thought this was interesting when I looked at it. I was looking at the preview of y'all game. So far, now obviously context is who they've played, the context of the games, and you guys have blown people out a little bit more, so it's a little bit different. But we look at the offenses, total yards per game. They're 5th right now at 388 yards per game. You guys are 16th. Pass yards per game, they're 268 yards per game. That's 6th. You guys are 19th with 203. And rush yards, you guys have them at 124 to 120. You guys are 10th. They are 13th. Obviously, the defenses are the big difference. Their defense is way better than theirs, especially statistically. But this, like you said, if you guys lose this game because of the offense, it is going to be, oof. I know Eagles fans ain't gonna let y'all stop hearing that. I know that much.
I mean, yeah, like I said, I hope these Cowboys really looking within themselves in this game. Y'all, this is a must-win game right here. This is a must-win game, not just because of some damn Kellen Moore. I don't care about that. This is a must-win game, period. Because now it's going to start messing with your psyche. I don't care what you say. You're human beings. And so if you lose this game, now it's going to start to come into play. The psyche, are we really that good? That's when we'll start talking about that. And we've been beating out the chest and saying we this and we that. But now teams are coming around and smacking us, and it's a copycat league. So you best believe the Chargers pulled up that San Francisco 49ers tape and watched all of it. And you best believe they're going to try to mimic what the San Francisco 49ers did. A lot of the Niners did. They manned us up. You feel me? They didn't respect us at all. They said, we're going to man you up. You cannot beat us one-on-one, and we're going to attack you, and you're not going to do nothing about that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all, that a team will say, we're just going to man y'all up, and y'all, there ain't nothing you can do, and we're going to play you this way. That's not a good thing for me, in my opinion. You got to be able to adjust as a coach and be able to make plays. And we didn't do it. So this is a game, especially, Joe, you just talked about it. Their defense is just terrible. I mean, you get what I'm saying? Their defense is giving up 26 points a game. All right. So that tells you right there, they're almost giving up 30 points a game. So if you come in this game as an offense and literally play like you did in this last couple games against Arizona and the Niners, and you show no offense and against a team that sucks on defense, bruh, that's all I got to say. Bruh.
Yeah, I mean, the Chargers aren't a great team in my opinion, but
They're not a great
enough.
team.
They're good
They're
enough.
not a great team. Yeah, they're good enough because they got some talent on offense, and they got Justin Herbert. He's a talented quarterback. No matter what people be trying to hate on, Cowboys fans be hating on Justin Herbert. What has he ever done? He ain't never won in the playoffs. Look at that choke. Yeah, he did choke, but he's a talented, damn good quarterback. I'm tired of people acting like Justin Herbert ain't no damn good quarterback. Yes, he is. Yeah, I get it. He hasn't won in the postseason. That's the jury's still out. But let's stop acting like Justin Herbert ain't no damn good QB. That's a whole damn lie. It is. And if we go in there acting like, oh, Justin Herbert, now, no, Justin Herbert can kick your ass. So you better go in there and play some good damn defense against him. You better. And you better be able to score on his D. I think Joey Bosa's still on the man. Khalil Mack went crazy last week, 5-6 sacks. But at the end of the day, this is a team you can run the ball on. This is a team you can throw the ball on. This is the team you can move up and down the field on. But you need to score touchdowns. And like I said, you got to get a little bit more creative and get some more people involved. Stop forcing this to damn Luke Schoolmaker. This second round damn pick is pissing me off, Joe. Jake Ferguson is your guy. He's the one that says, I'm a ride and die for you, Dak. You need to get him the ball and stop forcing to that second round pick, dog. And I'm just saying, Jalen Tolbert, Michael Gallup, okay, he has 6 catches for like 90 yards against the Cardinals, but he's still not Michael Gallup of old. He's not that guy no more. Jalen Tolbert, give him some reps. You feel me? You got Hunter Lukey. You got Rico Dowdell. You're putting, I already said Tony Pollard has his yards after contact is his lowest in his career right now. How do you get that back? Give other guys carries and keep him fresh. Give other guys carries. You're not doing that right now. And I think that's one of the issues. Brandon Cooks has 7 catches, like he don't even got 10 catches for like 70 yards, dog. You brought him over here to extend the defenses, to spread the defenses out, but you're not using him accordingly to where you want to. And that's just the frustrating part right now on this offense, dog.
Yeah. I mean that. And my question is, because all right, with the Eagles, my biggest fear is that this defense secondary wise doesn't get it together, that they don't figure it out, which I think they will, but that is probably my biggest fear. So when you look at your team, are you more afraid that the offense isn't going to figure it out, or that this defense is going to continue to kind of slip up? Because I personally, looking at that defense, what they did against, not just the Cardinals, but obviously against the 49ers again, also, that's kind of your bread and butter. If they can't get it together, I find it hard to believe that you guys are going to be one of the top teams in the NFC. What do you think is more important to kind of fix right now, the offense or the defense for you guys?
Whew, that's a tough damn question because, I agree with you. What you're talking about, our defense, that's our bread and butter. But you heard you heard Mike McCarthy said that's our bread and butter too. Just off the top of my head, I'm gonna say offense, because you still got to score points. Because I've seen our defense be able to stop people. I've seen our defense stop people last year. I've seen our defense stop people this year. But I think your defense gets more confidence when your offense scores points. Okay, your defense continues to play good when you can score points. And when you're taking these long drives, I know if I was a defensive player, right, and I'm watching my offense on the field, and they go all the way down the field just to not score, that's frustrating. I'm gonna be pissed on defense. You get what I'm saying? Or if I'm seeing 3-and-outs, I'm gonna get pissed on defense. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, man, score some points. It rallies the defense when you can score points on offense. When you can come down and score quickly, that defense gets hyped. Like we want to get turnovers now. Just look at the games when we scored a lot of points, Joe. The defense fed off of that. When we were able to get the ball against the Jets and take it right down the field and score a touchdown, defense fed right off of that. Defense came right off after that and came putting their ears back and let's get after them. Then when they made some stops, offense comes right back down, scores. That gets your defense hype. If your offense comes down, let's say you get the ball first, long drive or a quick 3-and-out, your defense is going to start thinking about that, and it plays to them to feel like, damn, we got to do everything. We got to hold it all the way down. And I don't know if this defense run game still has issues. Guys got to clean it up. I mean, I think they just really need to look within themselves. Our leaders, Micah Parsons, I made a video about him. I'm still upset because you're doing jersey swaps after ass kickings. You're jumping on podcasts. I'm old school. I ain't feeling the podcast. That's me. I get it. It's 2024, and we talked about this, Joe. I ain't feeling that podcast. I'm old school. After you get your butt kicked, I don't want to talk on no podcast. I don't want to talk all week. I want to just dial in, clean up what we need to clean up, and make it happen. But you know what? When you come over to Dallas, it's about the brand. And when Micah first came in, he was going hard in the paint. Now, I'm not dissing him. Understand what I'm saying? But now you're doing your podcast. Now the brand. You feel me? The brand. And that's what the problem is in Dallas. And I don't know if you was a dog before you come to Dallas, but it's like we neuter you. You come over to Dallas and that dogness just leaves you. And then it's about highlights and brand and looking good and being in the and you know what I'm saying? No, we need to get down and dirty and gritty. And that's what I thought we was trying to be. And now I feel like, are we getting Hollywood again? And that's the problem in Dallas, Hollywoodness, and I don't like it.
The one thing I will say, obviously being a Penn State fan, being able to watch Micah Parsons play and everything and kind of his on and off field, attitude, he's always kind of been, I won't say diva, but like he's always been kind of that, a little immature. I think that's the best way to put it. He's always been a little bit immature on the way that he handles things on and off the field. He has a lot of energy, a lot of, passion for the game, but sometimes it does come off a little childish. You know what I mean? The way he handles some things. And I think, look, the jersey swap, I know it happens all the time. I think it was a terrible timing, like to let that be shown on national TV. Like just go to, send it through like the equipment manager or something. Yeah, like y'all could have mailed it to each other. Yeah, it was just a bad look, especially for Cowboys fans. It's like, bro.
Let's think about, not to cut you off, but think about it, Joe. It don't bother Christian McCaffrey. We whipped your ass. Exactly. Hell yeah, I'll do a jersey swap. I'll take a picture with you because it didn't hurt my feelings. We didn't get smashed. So yeah, he'll jump up and take the jersey picture all day. But the fact that you're the leader of this defense and you did absolutely nothing that game. Absolutely nothing that game. So you have the nerve after absolutely doing nothing in that game, and you have done nothing in the Niners 3 games. Man, maybe let the playoffs. You was pressuring, but you're still no sacks. But they really kind of neutralized you. You're on there doing jersey swaps, dog. And then when they're asking you questions, they're like, "What's going on with the defensive line?" He's like, "Hey, I'm rushing. I'm coming off the edge. I'm doing, my job. I don't know what's really going over there." That's not what you do as a leader. You don't do that. You don't sit there and say, "I'm doing my job," or I'm trying to get to the quarterback. I don't really know what's. No, you as the leader, you got to take it all on. You're the man. You got to take all the brunt of everything, and you have to say, "I have to get better, starting with me. I didn't play the greatest. We got to get better, starting with me." I didn't hear that. I heard deflection. I heard this and I heard that, but I didn't hear it focusing on me, that I need to get better as the leader of this defense. And that is a problem, because when I hear J-Ron Curse popping off and talking all the time, that's cool. But right now you a shell of yourself. So if you're not really matching that play with the talk, then it's okay to chill and not talk. I'm doing it. I threw that chest all out there with Kool-Aid and all that. Oh, we got smacked in the mouth. It's time to not stop talking right now. It's time to just be quiet and put your head down and let's go hard in the paint and not let this season go astray.
Yeah. And this is a good question. I know Drew usually likes to troll you, but this is a good question. Who do you think who does get held accountable on that team? Like, is it just Dak? I feel like Dak at least takes blame. He'll at least say, "Hey, I didn't look good out there." But who is like your leader?
Dak. I mean, I thought Micah had took that next step as the leader. You feel me? Like I was pushing it. Like I thought and maybe it's the immaturity, like you said. He had immaturity issues at Penn State. That's one of the things that people were talking about at Penn State. Because remember, he had a couple incidents at Penn State that people were highlighting. Why he probably fell in that draft because of the off-field incidents that were going on at Penn State, and they said he lacked maturity. And yeah, it's all good. You're saying the line this and line that, and please don't understand. I'm not hating on Micah like I don't like him or anything like that. No, it's nothing that. But this is the reality of the situation. You're supposed to be the leader on defense because to me, I'm gonna keep it real. It ain't DeMarcus Lawrence to me because DeMarcus Lawrence always be, oh, we got the greatest defense in the world. Man, come on, dog. He just be saying stuff, bro. You just be talking like you just be talking out the side of your neck. We need somebody to get down and dirty and lead, and they also lead with your play. So right now, I don't know who it is on defense right now because Micah, I thought it was you, but right now you're not showing me that leadership, and I don't know where else it comes from right now because I don't hear anybody else talking about it. Like they just interviewed CeeDee Lamb. He's like, that's my fault. I shouldn't have did that and this, but this ain't the first time you done did it, CeeDee.
Yeah.
You feel me? This ain't the first time you over there pouting and stuff. And we had Dez Bryant in them, and Dez would go off on that sideline. He wouldn't be pouting. He'd be like mad, and he'd be yelling at everybody like, y'all better stand, man. I don't know what y'all doing, dog. We ain't losing this game. Like he would get people fired up. He wasn't sitting on the whole other side of the field while your team is down here. Your top receiver is all the way up the other side of the field pouting. What? Y'all are supposed to be these leaders on the team, and you're not showing it. And if the other players are seeing that, what does that tell them?
Facts. Yeah. Facts. It's all around. So let me ask you this before we get into like the actual we'll do our score prediction and everything for the game. And I want to know people in the chat as well for your respective teams. And I'm going to answer obviously for the Eagles. I want to know what is one move this offseason that you wish they either didn't make or did make, whether it's re-signing somebody or not signing someone or, whatever it may be. Because for the Eagles, I'm going to say straight up, I wish we would have kept Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I know that he's injured right now, but having him on this team and hopefully him not getting that injury, I think it would have been huge for this team. Eagles have been very thin at that safety position. And not only have we been going with young guys, they've all been hurt. I think everybody except everybody except for Terrell Edmonds, who he's been absolutely trash when he's gone in, has been hurt at least one game. So I wish the Eagles would have been able to figure that CGJ contract out and kept him with this team. Obviously for the future would be nice too. But I think that's where we're weakest right now. So I would say if I was, able to go back in time, and maybe fix something. Jay said, I told you, Joe. Y'all right. I'm giving y'all, this is what y'all wanted to hear. But no, I think that if we were able to keep CGJ, that would just put this defense over the top. We don't miss Kaiser White, but yeah, CGJ, I definitely wish we would be able to keep CGJ. Now, if the Cowboys were able to make or not make a move, what would it be for you?
We should have never let Amari Cooper go.
Yeah, I forgot that was
That's what I'm gonna say to the damn. And I know Cowboys fans, y'all know y'all gotta feel me. We should have never let Amari Cooper go and re-signed an injured Michael Gallup. That just made no damn sense. Just because Amari, Amari, we know what Amari is. Amari don't be talking, and he ain't the guy that is the rah-rah guy. We know that's not Amari Cooper style. He ain't never been that kind of style. But that mother sucker had talent. Do we not remember when we were 2018, we were 3-5, and they made that damn trade, how it changed Dak Prescott? Say what you want. It made Dak Prescott better. Amari Cooper made Dak Prescott even a better quarterback. You feel me? He surely did. And when you had that threat out there, because now, CeeDee, you're good. But, dog, when Amari was there, it made you better. Okay, because teams had to play Amari. Y'all remember? You seen what Amari did to them Eagles when he was here?
Amari was nice.
He went ham, and he just made our team better. Now I know what people saying, yeah, this and that. What about that one game? This and dog. We should never let Amari Cooper go, because if we had Amari Cooper, dog, it just makes this offense better. It just makes your players better, because he takes away he you gonna double team Amari. You're gonna put people on, and that opens the game for everybody else. So for me, losing Amari Cooper, we should have never done that.
I agree. I agree. That's a really good. I forgot about y'all giving him up. Yeah, that was the best thing y'all did to me. I was so happy that y'all got rid of him.
Dog,
He was
he
killing me.
was he was he was the Eagle killer.
Even Zeke, honestly, like I know we could talk about whatever you want, like on the field about Zeke, but off the field, I do feel like Zeke had the respect of your team. Like I
He
think,
did.
so I think he could have helped, Dak Prescott kind of, steer the ship in this time right now. And maybe you guys don't lose some of those games, but at the same time, even if you did, I feel like he can maybe be there with Dak and say the right things to the media and say the right things in the locker room, which I think people don't realize how big that is. I think that that's huge for teams. I think that you need guys that have the respect of other players and the coaches and the fans, that can kind of just calm people down, because we have that in Jalen. I will say that to the end of me, that Jalen Hurts has become that guy that when we hear him talk, we're like, all right, screw it. We good. We all right. We'll figure this out. And defensively, we got a couple guys that do that. Whether it's Slay, whether it's, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, all those guys say the right things to the media, say the right things to the fans. So, it's good to have that. So lastly, I want to know, I'll let you start, because I think y'all game is a little bit more of a nail biter work. So I'm excited for that game for the first time in a long time. Usually I just be like, I might watch a little bit of that game, but I might watch that actual game. I might actually watch that game, because it's gonna
You
be
gonna watch the
interesting.
whole damn
I
game?
might,
Stop
I
lying.
think I'm working, but I'm gonna at least listen to it. So what do you think is going to happen in your game? What do you think your score is going to be for the Dallas Cowboys versus the Chargers?
I actually think we're going to win this game, just because it's the Dallas way. Usually, when Dallas, everybody, okay, this is a big game. Dallas going to come, and we need to see what Dallas is looking like. This is a big game, smackdown. Okay. And then when they're like, oh, next game, yeah, you're going to lose this game. And then we play out of our minds, right? So that's what I'm going to go off of, because I kind of know the team. I feel like, deep down inside, they don't want to lose to Kellen Moore, because they don't want to listen to the media. They don't want to hear the talk. They don't want to hear the noise. I think deep down inside, they got to know that they absolutely cannot lose this game, because that's going to put more fire on their coaching staff, more fire on Mike McCarthy. So we can't have this. So I feel like that's why we'll go ahead and rise above. This might, we got to score some points. Whew. Score, I'm going to say 27-24. I'm gonna say 27-24. I'm gonna say because their offense, I mean their defense is atrocious. We get some guys involved that we should, and we win it on a field goal. Our field goal kicker came out of nowhere. He's been money all year. So and that's how we beat them last year. We beat them on a field goal last year to win the game. And so I'm gonna go and jump out there and say 27-24. We right the ship, we score points, and we win the Kellen Moore Bowl.
The Kellen Moore Bowl. I think this is a big game for you guys. I mean, you're
Huge
not
game.
not just because of the win or the loss, but like you go into the bye week.
We got to hear the noise.
Yeah, exactly. And you have nothing you can do about it for a whole week. That will destroy you. I trust me. I've been there. I've played sport, like not being able to kind of answer the questions,
And
because that's all you can
there.
do. It burns you up. It really, and there's one of two things that happen. You either answer the call when you get back out there, or you just become a shell of yourself. So I feel like if you guys don't go out there and win this game, it's going to be tough for you guys. It's going to be really tough. And this is not your hard stretch of the schedule.
No, and that's what I'm saying. The meat of our schedule is getting ready to come up, because, like I said, we still have the Dolphins, we still have the Bills, we still have the Seahawks, they're going to give us some trouble. We still got the Lions. We got to play you guys twice. You feel me? Washington, even though they ain't good, that's a rival, and Washington plays us good. They beat us last time, and Washington's going to get up for us in this game, because they beat us the last game of the year. So they're going to be all the way up on that game. So yeah, we got the meat of our schedule getting ready to come up. We don't have a bye. We got like 11 straight games after this. So this game is paramount. This is a game that you jump back on, and you can silence some some critics right now, Mike McCarthy. You can silence some people right now, Mike McCarthy. Show some offense right now, because if this looks like a lame duck type of offense again this week, bruh,
It's
it's
gonna
gonna
be
be bad
bad.
business. It's gonna be bad business, Dallas. And like I said, people will be talking of that firing.
Yeah, and let's remember that Joe said this last year
You
that this
did.
was coming. This was coming. I am Nostradamus. I'm telling you. But no, as far as the Eagles, again, it should be a win. But you never want to go into a game like that. And I've said it before. The Eagles need to treat every single team like a Super Bowl matchup, because at the end of the day, every team is going to get up and they're going to want to play the Eagles. We were the second best team last year in the NFL. People are going to use that as a trophy. Everybody that's came close to us so far, right? We're 5-0, but every team that's come close, they're like, well, we played good. We played good against them. So that's what people want to do. They want to keep it close. We just got to go out there, play mistake-free football, obviously get this run game going. I'm a big proponent of that. I would love to see the secondary get some confidence against a bad quarterback. But yeah, I think the Eagles win that turnover battle pretty handedly, and I think that'll be a big part of it. So I'm going to say the Eagles go out there and I won't say dominate, but I think that they win pretty comfortably. And I'm going to say that is going to be like a 30 to maybe 17 game, 30, maybe 14, 17. I think that they get one or two touchdowns off of a mistake off the Eagles. I think like Jalen Hurts will either not be able to flip the field, or will get, a little bit too cocky and maybe take a chance where we shouldn't. And they end up with a short field once or twice and take advantage of it. So I think the Eagles win, like I said, pretty comfortably, but I'm gonna go 30-17. That's my final offer. That's my final vote. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
man.
think I think y'all blow them out. I'm gonna just keep it real. I think y'all blow them out. Like I said, quarterback play is not their forte. And if you shut down that run game and you got to put it on Zach Wilson, I just don't believe he's going to make the plays. And he's known to be a turnover guy. And when he does turnovers, they come in waves. They don't just
Yeah.
be spot turnovers. They come in waves. And once the defense, if you're a defense and your quarterback can't move the ball up and down the field and you keep turning the ball over, defense starts getting pissed, and then they start getting undisciplined and doing wrong plays. Because guess what? I saw it from the Cowboys. We don't play disciplined football. When we get down, that's our problem. I hate that's our problem. We can't seem to play from behind. And that's the big one of the biggest issues for me with this team right now, is that we cannot play from behind. We have to play with the lead, Joe. That pisses me off, dog. It pisses me off more than anything, because it's like, damn, if we don't score off the rip. Because when the Niners went down there and scored that quick touchdown, my first thought was, oh boy, let me see how this offense is going to act. And then when we had that quick 3-and-out, I said, man, here we go. Here we go. Because this offense is not a quick strike offense once again, Joe. And if we get down, then it seems like the offense starts playing different, and then the defense starts pressing, and then
Yeah.
they start trying to play hero ball, and then they kind of keep on trying to make plays, and they get undisciplined. And when they keep trying to make plays so bad and they get undisciplined, we get hit with a big play. You feel me? A 60-yard pass or a 40-yard run, because guys are trying to do too much and try to play hero ball. And Cowboys got to play within themselves, and we got to be able to have a team that we can come back. If a team gets on us quickly, we got to be able to come right back and score and match them, and not feel like, damn, is this game over if they jump up on us by 14 points? That's not winning football, dog.
No, I agree. I agree. And that's why, we've been talking about it all season so far. The Eagles have been able to find different ways to win, which is important. That's very important, to find ways to get the best out of your
That's
team
what
even when you're the
championship
worst.
teams do. You feel me? That's what
Exactly.
championship teams do. And I ain't pumping up no damn Eagles on here or nothing like that. But championship teams win them games when you're not playing good. Like when we didn't play good against the Cardinals, you find a way to win. That's what championship teams do. They find a way, because every game you play is not going to be a offensive arsenal game. Every game is not going to be a defensive game where you're shutting people down. You
Yeah.
may struggle. You may get a team that might come in hot. You might get a team that might just be playing out of their mind, and you got to be able to weather that. And if you can still come out and win those games when you did not play the greatest at all, matter of fact, you played like trash, but did we win? That's what you're going to look at. That's what to me, where you look at championship teams. And right now, when I see us, we aren't doing that, and that's a bothersome thing, and it's a bad trend that I don't like.
Yeah, I respect it, man. And shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got 130 people in the chat. I'm 7 away from 6K right now.
Let's
So,
get him. Get
you know
him
what
that
I'm saying?
6K,
Yeah,
man.
7 people.
If,
Seven
even if you're
people.
a Cowboys fan, you know you like Joe Dog.
Yeah, y'all know y'all
He
love
can't
me.
see the subscribers. He can't see the names on every subscriber. You can hit it.
Right?
You can hit it right there. Get him the 6K, and you be good. I'm subscribed to him. That's my dog. You feel me? So you know what I'm saying. Let's get my dog to 6K, and then you know what I said. I'm like 220 away now
Let's get it.
from my 15. Hey. It's cool, Eagles fans. I don't hate y'all. Y'all can hit the subscribe button to me
Yeah,
too.
show
You ain't
that
gotta.
love.
You feel me? Just show me love. You feel me? Well, you can still hate my squad, but you can show me love.
Facts. And you got another super chat before we get out of here, brother.
Eternal Dynasty. I like that name for the 199. Holly said maybe the Cowboys can peak at the end of the year. Boy, that's what's going. No, we need to get to peaking now. We need to, we need to get this together, or the train can fall off the tracks. Let's just keep it real. The train can fall off the tracks if you don't circle the wagons right now and get it together. I haven't seen the Cowboys circle the wagons like deeply. You feel me? And we need to be able to do that. And it all starts from up top. Oh, I don't even want to talk about them guys. But your coach, Mike McCarthy, you've been saying a lot in the media. They've been attacking your offense. So you need to shut up these critics right now and show that this ain't a stale offense. Show that this isn't a predictable offense. You need to show it because he made a quote, and I seen this from my guy Connor Live say, where he said, "I ain't worried about being the smartest coach or the most, the greatest play caller. I'm where I want Hall of Fame quarterbacks to be able." Okay, so I don't like when you just said that. So you basically saying, "Oh, it ain't on me. It ain't on me. I'm just throwing the offense out there, and he got to be able to do it. And if he don't do it, then we just terrible." Because he said that with Kellen Moore. He pushed it away from him, and he said, "Well, that's Kellen. That's Kellen doing this. That's Kellen doing this. That's Kellen doing that." And I said, "Okay, you know what? I left that alone. Go ahead. Yeah, Kellen's in control of it, but now it's on you." And now I hear you saying, "Oh, I want my quarterback to be able to do this. I want my quarterback to be able to." No, I need my coach to be able to step his damn game up and get and right the ship because you're running the show right now. So you better right the ship. So if the ship don't get right, all the fingers going to be pointed at you, and then we're going to be looking at, well, damn, was those 12 and 5s fallacies? Was they fake? So this game is all on you, Mr. Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, rightfully so. Rightfully so. No matter what happens with Dak Prescott, I think he has to be held accountable just as much. So I agree with you. You know, you never want to hear that. If you're the head coach, it's your job to find ways to put your team in the right position. And Aldridge said it's never Dak's fault. I think that I don't think that's the overarching sentiment, but it's both of them. It's on both of them. At the end of the day, you have to see good play out of your quarterback. But if you don't see good play out of your quarterback, it's your coach's job to put him in a position that he can get more confidence, get going again, get that, get your role going on, right?
Mhm.
Like get your
That's the coach to get your guys in
exactly,
rhythm. Your coach is calling the play, so
exactly.
he's got to get your team in rhythm. So that's on the coach. And you ain't. I don't know if you ever heard from my podcast. I don't know if you what your name is again, but I ain't never sit there and said it ain't never Dak's fault. I'm totally
Yeah.
different from that. That ain't. I'm not that guy. I will get on Dak just as quick as anybody else, and I make no excuses for Dak Prescott or anybody on the team because I'm not an excuse guy. I'm not an excuse guy from my own life. If I'm messing up or something, I'll take it. I'll own it and say, "Hey, this has to change right now." I own it in my everyday life. I don't never want to be a no excuse guy, and I don't want my team with no excuses. So I definitely don't give Dak any excuses. I did him not giving him any excuses in that Cardinals game. I didn't give him any excuses in that San Francisco Niner game, and I don't give him any excuses. Period. Dak's got to continue to get better. He missed open receivers. That play calling did not help him at all. That's the truth of it. That play calling was not good at all. But at the end of the day, Dak still missed receivers. Dak still had guys open. Dak still could have made some plays, and he did not. And so he
Yeah.
has to step up and do it because guess what, dog? This offense is on YouTube.
It's the truth. It's the truth. And I will say, if you guys don't believe what he said, just go back and watch when we
Watch my
when he
rants.
had
I
to
had
do
a
his rant.
watch my rants. I had two rants on Dak Prescott, one 5 years ago and 4 year ago, and it was basically talking the same thing. Like, come on, dog, we need you to be able to step up and take us to the next level. And if you're not able to do that, then we're just going to be a good talented team that's always going to fail.
Yeah, facts. But I mean, look, it's gonna be a good weekend. I'm excited for this weekend. Excited for some Eagles football tomorrow. I know you're excited for some Cowboys football on
I'm
Monday.
excited. Come on, Jets, please, man. Can you please beat these dudes? Can the Jets please pull an upset so I can have you on the show so
Yeah,
we can
nah,
do a show
man.
for you, please? I
It ain't
need to
happening.
see you mad. I need to see you mad. So Jets, I'm sending the call like Aquaman. Boop, 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 boop. Remember Aquaman? Remember Aquaman was sending that call to all the animals in all the sea, and they start following him when he made that. Boop, 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 boop. I need you just to do that boop, 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 call and beat these damn Eagles so I can have Joe on the show so I can listen to him, please.
It ain't gonna happen. 6-0, baby. We right there. Shout out to the Chargers. Go Chargers, brother. Go Chargers. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the super chat. DC for life. Texas says, I sub to you, Joe. DC for life. Let's go, Cowboys.
That's what's up.
Appreciate you, man. I appreciate that. Let me see. I think I'm almost there. Yeah, I'm 4 away now, so I
Four
appreciate
away.
all y'all. I
Oh,
appreciate all y'all.
four of y'all can hit that sub.
That's
Get
what
them
I'm
to that
saying.
6K, dog. Get them
But
that 6K.
But at the end of the day, we are going to get out of here, man. I appreciate everybody in the chat. We still got 132 people in here, especially because we came on late. So we appreciate you guys being patient with us. And you know, we always going to bring this heat. And you might see one of our faces on Monday. I'll tell you that. You might see one of our faces
I need to
on
see
Monday.
Joe's face.
I hope
Jets.
it ain't mine.
Come on, Jets, Jets.
But you got anything you want to say to these people before we get out of here, brother?
No, just really appreciate everybody. Great chat today. You know, y'all been really. I'm gonna give y'all Eagles fans flowers. Y'all have been getting on my nerves for some weeks before, but the last few weeks y'all been cool. You know, of course y'all talk trash, but it's been very respectable trash.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that from our Cowboys too. They've been respectable to you, Joe. So I really been happy with the chat. I really like that because I think I like to take pride in our chat
Yeah.
because I see so many chats out there that are reckless. I see
Toxic.
I see a lot of toxic chats. I see a lot of reckless talking chats, and I don't want to be involved in those chats because y'all are grown ass adults talking like that to people you don't even know. So I really like our chat. We have to me a grown folk chat, a respectable chat from both sides. We talk our trash, but for the most part it's pretty respectable. So I always want to give my flowers to our chat. You make the show good. You
Facts.
make the show. You make me want to be able to do the show, even though I'm going against the enemy. I can honestly say that I look forward to our shows because I look forward to the trash talking with the chat, and I look forward to talking with the Eagles fans and find out their pulse and things like that. But we got good fans, in my opinion, on the Cowboys side and the Eagles side in this chat. So let's continue to make that great. Continue to make this show great, but it's on you guys, and you guys do a hell of a job. And I just want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate that.
Facts. I agree, man. You guys are awesome. We got the best fans in the world. I definitely believe that. Best subscribers in the world. I don't even want to say fans. Y'all family at this point. As much as
Drew
we
said,
talk
"Give me
that
flowers." I just gave you your damn flowers, Drew.
don't be that guy, Drew. Now don't be that
Hold
guy.
on.
Yeah, he tried, man. He did the best he could. He ain't gonna just say here and give you flowers. But nah, man, I do appreciate it. This chat is fun. It's always a good time coming on here, just talking that junk. And it's always amazing when the Cowboys lose and we get to hear you complain about it. We love that.
Yeah, well, I need to hear you complaining.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see when that happens. It might be this. I don't think it'll be this week, but maybe next week. We'll see. I'm definitely excited to see what happens this year. We've been finding ways, so hopefully we continue to find ways. But other than that, we appreciate all of y'all. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join both of our families, and join the Best of Enemies family, man, because we're continuously growing. But other than that, y'all know what it is, man. Go Bolts. I'm Joe.
Go Jets. Jets. Jets.
I'm Joe, and that's James, and we are the Best of Enemies. Peace.
Peace.
We're brothers, we're happy and we're singing and we're colored.